Why resist the emptiness? To the void. I banish you to the void.
(1,121 days ago is the last time I updated the CMod menu. With CMod Plus, that streak can finally come to an end with a long and overdue update. In this video, I'm going to go over the proper installation of CMod Plus and instructions on how to use every single aspect of CMod Plus. So, first thing you're going to need to do is go to Nexus Mods. Here you'll see a newly updated page for CMod Plus. If you come here, you can go and hit download to download CMod Plus. A separate mod I highly recommend installing is Party Rehaul AI. The reason for this is it's going to allow party members to all work outside of their respective scripted areas. Once you have both of these installed, go ahead and drag them to your desktop. After dragging them, also extract them to your desktop as well. In order to install it, you're going to need to locate where you have Kingdom Hearts 3 installed on your computer. Go to the launcher that you have Kingdom Hearts 3 installed on. Locate Kingdom Hearts 3 within your library. Hit Manage, open Install Location, and now you can go ahead and close your game launcher. From here, you're going to go to Kingdom Hearts 3, Content, Packs. I recommend creating a folder called ~mods in order to organize all your mods into one place. Now you can just go ahead and drag in your mod. And there you go, you've installed CMod Plus. A good way to know if you properly installed it or not is whether or not the golden notch that you click on in order to open and close the menu appears on the right hand side of your screen. This goes for on the title screen as well, because you don't need to do anything like the previous version of the CMod menu, like using a external mod loader or Simba to load the mod. No, with CMod Plus, it's there on the title screen, as you can see here. I can open and close it already. So now let's boot up into a save and go over all the different things that CMod Plus can do. Alright, so let's first go over the basics. CMod Plus was developed with the intent of having the keyboard and mouse designated to only be used really for the menu, and the game is actually meant to be played with a controller instead. However, if you do not have a controller, you're still able to play the game with a keyboard, as I am, but you'll notice that my mouse isn't really controlling the camera. You first need to either hold down the scroll wheel button to look around, or the right mouse button to look around, because that'll allow you to look around and also still attack. That's just really because I either needed to connect the controller to the mod menu or the keyboard and mouse to the mod menu, and I chose to do the keyboard and mouse because most people will play Kingdom Hearts, any Kingdom Hearts game really, with a controller. It also would have sucked for you to be running around with your controller and trying to go through the menu, but not being able to control Sora anymore and having to navigate through the menu with your controller, which is why I just chose to make it only be compatible with the keyboard and mouse. As you saw earlier, you can open and close the menu with the golden notch. You can also hit K on your keyboard to open and close the menu. If you think the notch is a little annoying, there's a secret button where it says CMod Plus. Clicking it actually makes the notch disappear. It is still there. You can still hear it. You can even still click it. However, it's a little hard to find since it is invisible, so that's why you can hit K on your keyboard and it'll show up. So the next thing I'm going to go over are things that will permanently be visible on the main screen of CMod Plus, and that's going to be this bottom half of the menu right here. This is always visible regardless of what menu screen you go into. As you can see here, no matter what I do, it's still visible. And that's because these are things that I wanted readily accessible for players to use. The first one is God Mode. Clicking this makes you invulnerable to attacks. You won't be able to receive any damage, and nothing can kill you. The next one is No Clip. This allows you to clip through walls, ceilings, floors. You can go up by hitting R2 on your controller, or H on your keyboard, or go down by hitting J on your keyboard or L2 on your controller. This allows you to, explore places that you typically wouldn't be able to. You'll go through, invisible walls, everything like that. Hitting it again actually allows you to just fall back down onto the ground. Now you can explore out of bounds and everything. It also utilizes the glide animation, as you can see here. That was mainly because in the past, no clip mode would force Sora to do the dive animation, and that would cause the camera to be super wonky, but now it doesn't do that. The next thing is Reset Party, and the Party Selector, as well as the Player Selector. Hitting Reset Party, obviously, it just resets your party. You're able to go through the selector. It has all versions of Donald, Goofy, the KH crew, and all the Disney characters as well. So if you wanted to make your own party, for example, you could do like Riku, Sora. Let's just get a few members in here. Within the game, there are 6 slots that NPCs or party members can populate. As you can see, I have the 6 right here. However, if I keep going through this menu right here, you'll see a few of the characters have an infinity symbol next to them. That's because you can spawn an infinite number of these types of NPCs. However, their AI will still work. Even if you don't have any special mods like the one I recommended earlier installed, these party members specifically, their AI will work by a default. But as you can see, because of that mod I installed, all the party members, including Axel, Roxas, Shion typically works base game, but all the party members are able to follow me around. If I want, I can go here and change my my playable character as well. So let's say I want to be long hair Riku. When I do switch my player, all the party members still remain. Another cool thing is if I actually go through a room load, the party members and players that I selected actually persist through each room load. So if I load into a separate level, everything will persist as I set it. If I'm tired of this, I can always come here, hit reset party, go back to Sora. Whenever you go through a room load, like here, you can see I can spawn an infinite number of Donalds if I wanted. If I go through this room, only the 6 Donalds that are within the 6 slots will survive. The ones that I spawned after the fact with the infinity symbol will despawn. That's mainly there to maintain lag. Like if you want to go through a room in order to like soft reset your game, it's going to despawn all those other Donalds that you infinitely spawned. Another thing is, you'll notice that the infinity symbol is not there. Every time you go through a room load, it's going to revert to the first of the 6 slots. And then after you set 6 new party members within those slots is when the infinity symbol will show up again. Alright, with the basics out of the way, we can now get into the meat of CMod+, and we can just start right here at the top with the level loader. Clicking this opens up a little screen that has a few different levels that you can just simply teleport to with a click of a button. For example, you want to go to the Mysterious Tower, Computer Lab, you just click it. And then you're in that world. Now, some of these maps are really small, so there's not much you can do here, but you can explore different maps that you typically didn't have access to throughout the actual game. So I do know that the level selector doesn't have that many levels in it, so if you actually want to, if you go obtain a path for a map you want to teleport to, if you type in the word open in the command line, and then you copy and paste that level path, you can just hit enter, and then it's going to teleport you to that world. So next up, we have the enemy spawner. On this page, we have every single humanoid boss, every storyline boss, mini boss, as well as, if I scroll a little further, we have the limit cut bosses as well. If I go back, you can see at the very bottom row, we have a few unversed, some nobodies, and a few heartless as well. You can also type in the number of enemies you'd like to spawn. So if I wanted to spawn 10 of whatever enemy, you'd type in 10 first and then select the enemy you want to spawn. There's also a little tick mark here you can check off if you want the AI to be off. So I want to spawn, like, let's say 10 shadows without any AI. So they're just going to stand in place. Or I want to do 10 Neo shadows. Like, you can get pretty crazy with this. If you don't want to click it a bunch of times, you can honestly just do 100 and just spawn a bunch like that as well. Obviously, you know, if you want your PC to crash, it's totally up to you. Now, me, I don't know. If you have a NASA quantum computer, that would work too. I don't know. It really depends on the... Alright, continuing forward, we have the other spawner. This is where you're going to find things like the Luxo Ball, Black Pearl, Gigas, all 3 different Gigases. You can spawn them. They're going to spawn above you because they need a wide area to spawn, and, you know, above you is a pretty wide area. And you can spawn a bunch of these as well. There is another aspect to this. You can also spawn money orbs, HP orbs, MP orbs, and focus orbs as well. Alright, so moving forward, we have the Debug Options menu. Within this screen, there's a few different buttons. The first one is Scene Components. It shows you all the different levels that are loaded in that make up the level you're currently playing. If you didn't know, in Kingdom Hearts 3, all the main levels, like playable levels throughout the game, are made up of a bunch of sub-levels. On the right-hand side here, you have your FPS, as well as all the AI rendered. So if I were to spawn in a bunch of enemies, this AI number would go up, while my FPS would go down. Skipping the debug camera for now, we have load level instance and unload level instance. So if I come down here to the command line and I type in just the path of any level, specifically maybe the skybox of a level, you don't need to put open in front of it, you just need to have the full path of said level. If I come here and hit load level instance, it loads in whatever level you have inside of the command line. So this is actually the lighting of Frozen's world that I just loaded in, and hitting this again will unload it. If you pay attention to the bottom left of all the different levels loaded into Twilight Town, when I hit it, you'll see it popped up right there. And when I hit unload, it takes it out. So just disregarding the debug camera for another second, if I look right here, this little sub-menu within this screen is actually made up of all the different NPCs, playable characters, all the pawns of the game, or actually of the level that I'm currently in. So if I hit this, for example, that's Donald, that would be Goofy. This is just a bunch of NPCs on the other side of Twilight Town that actually isn't rendered in right now because I'm in the forest. But you know, you can be any of these. And you know, let's say you want to go back to Sora. You would have to sit here, for example, and look for P_EX001. That's Sora. Well, I mean, not everyone's going to have that memorized. So whatever playable character you're playing as will be set to this revert to player button. Hitting it takes you back to that player. Alright, and finally we have debug camera. Clicking this allows you to basically free cam all around. You can use your mouse by holding down the right mouse button. You can look around, and using your scroll wheel you can increase or decrease your speed. You can also use the controller for this. However, I would really recommend just using your keyboard and mouse to do it. A lot easier. Can't really control your speed as easily with your controller. However, using debug camera does soft lock the game. You can hit the button again to get out of it. However, this version of Sora, you can't attack and you can't like wall run. There's a lot you cannot do as this version of Sora. Let me try and clip back in real quick. Alright, so once you clip back in, if the world you're in has like a room load, like if you can walk into a different room, then you can use that to soft reset the game. However, if you're in a world like Twilight Town, you won't really be able to do that since there are no room loads here. As you can see here, you can't run up any walls. You're really soft locked. The menu doesn't really work either. The game really just breaks. You can also hit debug camera to try and enter it again, but it won't work, unfortunately. And even if you come here and go to no clip, that won't work either. The game just really freaks out, so make sure you're prepared to possibly go to a different level to soft reset the game. And you can see I can attack, I can do everything, open the menu like normal, my mouse is visible. Everything is great and dandy when you do a soft reset. Moving right along, we have the HUD options. There's a few things going on within this screen. At the very top, we have toggling your HUD on and off. When turning it off, it turns off the CMOD notch as well. So it allows you to have absolutely no HUD or UI elements on your screen. You can always toggle it back on by clicking Toggle HUD. Let's say you had the CMOD notch already turned off and you toggle your HUD off. Toggling your HUD back on actually keeps the notch off, so it actually takes into consideration your input from earlier. The next few sections here are setting different UI elements within the game. For example, the information text found in the top left-hand corner of the screen. If you want it to show up for, like, let's say a duration of 3 seconds, you type in what you want, you type in the duration, but let's say, you know, you wanted to have it just show up for the default, it'll be 10 seconds. But whenever you want to actually submit what you want to show up, you have to go back to the actual area where you type in the text and hit enter. It won't work if you go to the duration and hit enter. Nothing happens. Setting the subtitle text works as well. Same thing with the duration and having to go back up to where you type in your text. It'll show up. There's a lot of different types of UI. Bruh4 for 3 seconds. And let's just do a center text of center, bruh for 5. You know what's better than 24, actually? Actually, it's 25. And let's just do it for 25, actually. 10 seconds. I'm tripping up on my numbers. Center bruh 25. Besides that, as well as hiding your HUD UI elements, there's not much more to this section. Alright, so next up we actually have one of my more favorite parts of CMod Plus, and that's the BGM options. It may not look like much, but there's a lot of cool things you can do here. So first of all, I'm not sure if you've noticed or not, but there's been no background music playing at all this entire time. That's because I've had it toggled off. If I click this, it toggles back on. So when I toggle it off, there's actually a mute symbol that shows up at the top. It's visible on all screens of CMod Plus, and obviously when you turn it off, it stays off. The next thing is the BGM dropdown. When clicking this, you're able to see every single song that's found within Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, selecting this won't really do anything. That's because you first need to make a decision as to whether or not you want the field BGM to change or the battle BGM. Battle BGM stands for music that plays when you're in a battle, and field BGM is just music that plays when you're walking around normally, like right now. So if I select field BGM, and I come here and I just select a song. It was a really bad song to pick. It had a very quiet start to it, so let's pick this one. I believe it's Kingdom of Corona's theme song. It sure is. I can also change the battle BGM. I can change both at the same time, so if I select this, it's going to be the song that plays for both the field and the battle, but if I just want my field to be Twilight Town's theme, and I want, let's do Nachtflugel for the battle BGM. If I come here and I spawn some enemies, you can see that the song changed. A really cool thing is the song that's currently playing when you're within the BGM option screen within CMod Plus is actually the song name in the subtitle. That's really just so you know what decision you made, because after making it, it's kind of hard to remember. So yeah, and if you actually spawn a few enemies here, gives me enough time to go back to the BGM screen. You can see it now says Nachtflugel, and once these Heartless die, come on guys, it switches back to the field BGM that's currently playing. So I'll just go ahead and toggle this back off for the rest of this video. Something else to also mention, when you go between different levels, like for example if I want to go to Stairway to the Sky Deformed, you'll notice that the BGM comes back while you're on the load screen, but then as soon as you come back, if you had it selected to be off, it's still going to turn back off. That's mainly just because the game will break if the BGM is set to be off during a load screen. It's really weird, really finicky, but that's my workaround for it. So if it plays, if you have it selected to be off and it plays during a load screen, that is as it's intended. It's just there to make sure the game doesn't break. Last but not least, we have the cheats screen. On this screen, there's a multitude of cheats that you can select. For example, you want to get all the food in the game? Boom. You want to get all the boosts? Boom. You want all the gummy materials? Boom. You want to unlock everything? Boom. There you go. So if I actually come here now, I unlocked everything. I'll go to my abilities. I got a bunch of different abilities to go through now. I got a bunch of equipment. I have all keyblades. Easier to look at this is actually on the item screen. You can see I have literally everything that the game has to offer, and it's the max number as well. Another really cool thing is that my premium menu, it's been completed. Not only did I gain access to it, but it's also been completed. So there's a bunch of different things you can go through. If you don't want to necessarily unlock everything, then you have the option to pick and select what you want to unlock. For example, you can unlock all key items, or you can just unlock all the maps. Unlocking key items and maps, this unlocks more than just maps. This only unlocks the maps. You want to unlock just the reports, you can do that as well. And yeah, those are all the different things found within CMod Plus. However, there is one more thing that I need to go over. So for this last portion, it's a little detached from CMod Plus. It's a player and party select menu that's available before all 13 data boss battles, as well as the Yozora secret boss battle. So if I walk up to one of these portals and challenge the recreated data, this menu pops up that allows me to select the player character and up to 6 party members. So if I want, I can be Roxas and have a few party members. If I don't like my selections, I can keep selecting to override my previous ones, or I can hit reset selections to just start from scratch. You also have the option to return to the Garden of Assemblage if you just wanted to choose a different boss battle to fight. And you also have the option in the bottom right corner to disable the background music and also begin the fight with God mode already enabled. You also have an option to change the map that you want the fight to take place in. So I'll just cycle through all the different options we have here. I'm just going to do this one in Radiant Garden, and I'm going to just have God mode enabled anyways. You can never be too safe. So if you ever want to change your party or your player, you can still do that with CMod Plus. So if I want to be Riku, I can do that. The party members still stick around, so if you do want to change it, you will have to go ahead and hit reset party, and then select your new party. So here we can take a look at the different options I wasn't able to go over. Real quick, let's just pick some random NPCs. And let's also disable the BGM and enable God mode. Let's just pick a random map. Very eerily quiet. However, you'll notice that actually with all these party members it's going to be kind of hard. Let's reset the party. You'll notice I'm in God mode. If I change the player, still in God mode until I come here and disable it. If I die real quick, let's have Sora with his low defense die real quick. I can hit retry, come back here, and return to the Garden of Assemblage. Alright, with all of that done and out of the way, thank you so much for watching this video. If you ever have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments below, or message me on Discord, or maybe even make a bug report on Nexus Mods. I would also like to thank all the people who contributed into making this mod. There was a ton of research done by the OpenCage community, as well as many individuals that helped me get to where I am today. Please take a look at the description below for all credits to those who helped, as well as other instructions and links that you may want to look at. As I said before, thank you again so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.